Pierre Lebrun says Hampus Lindholm is the top rental defenseman going into the trade deadline here, with interested teams being Boston. Is that supposed to be Florida?
Yes.
FLO? Okay. Florida, Rangers. You can tell this is not my find here. Boston, Florida, Rangers, Tampa Bay, and Toronto. The main teams, kind of the top ones in the top contenders, I guess, for this year's playoff race is what I'm trying to say. So, do you see Lindholm going somewhere at the deadline, or do you think the Ducks re-sign him?
You could always do a kind of a verbal agreement of like, hey, you can try to go somewhere else, but if you'd like to come back, we'll re-sign, like we'll sign you in the offseason kind of deal. Mm-hmm. That's always a possibility, right? You saw it with Patrick Marleau, even with San Jose going to Pittsburgh, and they just re-signed him back again. Yeah. Stuff like that. But I feel like I think it was the end of this week is what I said will kind of determine, or the end of next week will kind of determine what we're going to be doing. Yeah, I said it was the end of not the end of next week, but the game next Thursday against Nashville. That was kind of the point that I looked at and said that's going to determine, I think, whether we're pushing or if you're better off to sell.
Yeah.
With how things are going, I'm unfortunately leaning a little bit more toward the sell line. So try to get what you can for him. It'd be unfortunate if he doesn't want to come back kind of thing. But you can always have that out there, right? Of, hey, like, we'll trade you. You can go chase a cup. He's not very old, mind you, but...
No, he's not.
Hey, you can go chase a cup, and then if you would like to come back, we'll gladly take you.
If we lost him, our second best left defenseman is... I mean, you can make the argument for which player would be our second best here, but it's one of Simon Benoit, Brendan Gooley, and Josh Mahura. Those are not the guys you want as your second pairing defenseman.
No.
Like, in terms of defensemen overall, it's Cam Fowler, number one, obviously. Yeah. And then it's Kevin Shattenkirk, Jamie Drysdale, and Josh Manson, but they're all right D. Like, yes, they could play, one of them could play the left side, but not one of those names stands out as like, okay, I'm comfortable with this being the guy that carries this second pair. Like, Drysdale's a good defenseman, but he's still so young. Yes, Shattenkirk he's been pretty solid this season, but he's getting up there in age and his play is slowly declining over the years. And Josh Manson just doesn't strike me as the guy to lead a second pairing.
Yeah.
Great complimentary player in the top four, but not like this is the guy you rely on here.
See, and I'm kind of looking at this as going into the season. Yeah, no, everybody, including us, expect the Ducks to be like bottom 5, bottom 10 at least in the NHL. Not, trying to fight for a playoff spot. I don't want to think that they're not going to make it, but it's kind of looking like the reality, unfortunately, here. Mm-hmm. But with that, it shows that, this team isn't quite ready yet. That's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
If you look and that's your left side or right side, sorry, I forget which side you had said there. Left side, yeah. It's okay because you know that you have time to improve that. The expectation isn't quite there yet to be making a deep push or anything like that. Mm-hmm. The Athletic here has his market value for Lindholm being at $3.2 million.
Okay.
So he's going to be overpaid, I think, no matter what coming up. But yeah, at 5, that's not horrible. Even if it gets bumped up to 6, it sucks in terms of like, the market value and that sort of thing. But if you're to want to bring him back and keep him around, it's not horrible. So
yeah, I would love to keep Lindholm around. It obviously depends on the return that we get for him, but it's it just leaves such a hole in the roster that unless we had a plan in place, either getting a defenseman back in the same trade or another trade lined up for the rest of this season and next season, I wouldn't want to give Lindholm up